So what's going on, everybody? Thanks again for stopping by. And today I decided to record outside just because it's a nice day, and hopefully you guys can hear me because I'm not using my general usual mic and all this other fancy stuff. I'm just using my MacBook because shout out to them. I hate their products, but it's nice and convenient. I'm more of a Windows user. Don't hate me for that. But uh, so I wanted to come outside just because it's nice and warm today and sunny, and that's been pretty rare lately. Usually it's been super cold and windy and rainy and all this stuff. So I wanted to enjoy the sunlight while I still can and actually record out here. I haven't been outside very much since starting Lambda School just because I've been coding every day, and so uh, it's good to take advantage of it when you can. So I wanted to go over a few things, really awesome news that Lambda School is doing, and currently what they're doing is they're extending the program even longer. So before it was 7 months, and now it's still 7 months, but with an additional few months. So they kind of extend it for 9 months, and I think for part time they give you the option to extend it even further as well. But essentially, what they're doing is they're adding a kind of like a career service as part of the curriculum, but also not just like job hunting, but also being able to go back and do extra projects, being a part of extra build weeks, which I'll go over shortly in a little bit. But you get to be part of extra build weeks. You get to be able to do more labs. You get to volunteer to do other things within the program that'll help you get more experience and better portfolio, things like that. So um, me personally, I want to give a shout out to Kelsey. She is awesome. I've used her help plenty of times already, and I haven't even graduated yet. So at the point where you hit labs, that's when you get access to your career person. So once you start doing labs, you get to talk to them. They'll tell you who they are. And for me, by the time I think like my first week, I already had my first interview with her, and she basically told me all the things that I need to do in order to get signed off as somebody who's ready to go job hunting and do all the cool things and get involved with a lot of the hiring partners. So I think week two we had another interview already where we were talking about my resume and what I need to do to change it up. I sent her my portfolio probably about 5 or 6 times, and shouts out to her. She's tough, she's tough, but she'll keep me from sending out garbage because I mean I was looking at my stuff and I was like, yeah, it could be better, and then I send it to her and she tells me like, yeah, you could have done better. Why'd you do this? She don't say it like that, but at the same time, she keeps me from sending out garbage. Without her, I probably would be sending out garbage all over the place. So, good to keep you honest. So Kelsey helped me out a lot with that, and because of that, like she even got involved with my cover letters and stuff. She would put notes on my Google Docs and everything, let me know where I can make better changes, uh, what I should be talking about, things like that. So I think that's pretty cool. But essentially what the main focus of this video is talking about build week, which is a new thing that Lambda School is actually doing. So build week is going to be a new thing. Before you used to do project week, which project week was cool. You did like 5 weeks of your module, and then at the end of the sprint you would build this pre-designed project and using all of the skills that you learned, and it was cool, but it wasn't really a unique portfolio piece. Like you would end up having to go back to it and add extra stuff to it just to be able to make it something that you'd be proud to show employers. um, and the front end and back end were really just one full stack project, so, and they weren't that great, honestly. Like I cared less about that than I did my own side project. So it wasn't really something to show off, which is why I never really showed it to you guys on my YouTube channel, just because it wasn't that interesting. My side project did just about everything that that project did, plus more. Um, so with that said, mind you, there were some people that did completely like amazing versions of their projects. I just wasn't one of them because I spent most of my time on my side project. And it was just a matter of what I was actually interested in. So, what Build Week does is, let's say you're a new student and you just completed the UI portion, so you spent 5 weeks as a full time. You spent 5 weeks doing the UI portion, which means you learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And so your task is to get into a group with generally about 4 or 5 other people. So you might have like 2 or 3 front end developers and one back end developer. You might have a UX UI designer. You might have a data scientist in your group. It just depends on what project you're doing. But you get to pick a project, and so you're in a team with these other people, and your job as the UI developer is, for one, you're going to be building the main landing page, which is very important. It's going to be the first page that anybody sees when they first come into your site. So if it looks like trash, nobody's going to want to stay, and they're immediately just going to leave. So your job is very important, on top of the fact that you get to set the styling for a lot of the rest of the website. Without you setting the styling, then the rest of the website kind of falls apart. So but you get to have this full stack application before you even learn how to use React or Node. And me personally, I volunteered to be a team lead for the previous build week. And so, with that said, I was able to actually see these awesome people put this project together for the first time. They've never worked with other people before. And this was, I mean, some of them had previous experience from like hackathons and things like that, but not in this environment where they have this preset, predetermined, like this is what we expect you to build. We're not going to give you much to go on. We're not going to give you a design. We'll give you a balsamic mock-up, and we want, at a minimum, we want these features, and we want to be able to log in and make posts and create things as users. So there was one student in particular. He was a UI developer, and I mean, this guy was amazing. He made a interactive template for everybody where you can click a button and it would change the color of the website. You can click other buttons and it would change the font style. So it let his team be able to pick everything right then and there, like day one. Like they were able to already see which one they liked better, and make more educated opinions on that, which I thought was like just phenomenal. Like that blew my mind right there. And then once he was done doing the markup page, and he did a about us page where he put everybody's information in there. Once he was done with that, he went into React side and helped with styling there. So he got to learn about style components. He got to learn about how React looked and how it interacted with everything, which was really cool. So with that, you're able to make these big projects, that you would be proud to show off because they're all just full stack applications. And mind you, if you're a new student, then you do that for the UI portion. Then you do 5 weeks of front end with React, and then you do another build week. Then you do 5 weeks of Node.js, and then you do another build week. And then after that build week, you go straight into labs. So at that point, you have 4 projects already. And then you do computer science for 5 weeks, learn Python and optimization, learn about big O notation, um, search trees, and all this other stuff. And then you get to go back as a team lead, and now you have a fifth you have a fifth project that you can shove into your portfolio. And if you decide to be like a part-time PM or something like that, then you can volunteer to be a team lead for other like part-time groups and all that. Now you have like 6 or 7 or whatever portfolio pieces. And so by the time you graduate, you can have all these amazing portfolio pieces, because for me personally, that was a huge part of my anxiety. Like when I got to labs, I was like, holy crap, I don't have anything in my portfolio yet. Nothing that I'm proud of that I can say, yeah, I use this technology. They taught me this, but I decided to use this because I wanted to learn something new. I didn't have much of that. And so I had this terrible anxiety. So I built this other application, just gave it the name of Chatify or whatever. And it's a cool site and everything. But I had to go out on my own to do that. And I had to do something that I was interested in and everything, which made it even better. And I learned new technology. I used stuff that I wasn't taught, but on top of that, I still had my anxiety because now, like, I'm at labs. I'm gonna have this awesome labs project and then this other side project, you know. but that was it. None of the Lambda projects that I had at the time were anything that I really wanted to show off as a portfolio piece, um, just because they didn't really use anything that was outside of the norm as far as I'm concerned. So this build week will really help a lot of people out with that. They'll be able to have these amazing portfolio pieces before they even graduate. And once you hit labs, you get access to your career service people. So they'll be able to sign you off like right away, just because you already have all these portfolio pieces. You just have to put your portfolio together, which in some cases can be harder. You know, portfolio and a resume and cover letters can be harder than coding, right? Because we're not generally used to that. We're more used to just sitting there and writing code all day. So it's good to have access to other people who are more intuitive in that sense. But with that said, that's all I really had. Right now, I'm applying to a few places that I'm very interested in, and I'm hoping to hear back from them. I do have an interview today with a company, and so hopefully that'll go well. I think if I do well with that interview, then they'll fly me out to California and probably do the technical interview, and then send me on back over here, and hopefully I'll have a job offer. But we'll see. I'm still applying to a few places and hoping to hear back. I can say that since Kelsey completely destroyed and remade a lot of my stuff, I've been able to have a little bit more success with the job searching, but it's still pretty early, and um, just keep on doing the thing until something sticks. But that's it. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And I really appreciate you guys sticking with me, even through the wind chimes and the wind and all this other stuff that's happening. See you guys next time.